So, what'd you guys get from this weekend? Massive action. What else? Shout it out. Value. Okay. DMO. Great. What I would like to provide for you guys, if I can do this without goofing up the slides, is a way that you can actually optimize what you got from this weekend. Is that fair enough? Yeah. Because would you agree you got a ton of content, a ton of stuff that came at you this weekend and came at you fast? Yes. Great. So I'm just going to speed it up. I'm going to teach you some very critical things, really like to call 5 distinctions of high performers. This is something that I've had in my experience as an entrepreneur, working with executives, entrepreneurs, athletes, and people who are really taking their game to a new level each and every single day. Now, you have to understand the things I'm going to be teaching you are not exactly, elementary level stuff. Is that okay? Yeah. This is also stuff that I teach my high-paying clients, the people that pay me good money to work with them on a yearly basis. This is the stuff that we get deep on and help them coordinate, better strategies to get where they are, from where they are to where they want to be, that Suckville to Awesome Town. So this is high-paying stuff my clients pay me good money for. Is it okay if I just kind of give it to you for free? Yes. Is that cool? Yes. It's not really for free because you made a huge investment to be here this weekend. And I'm not just talking about the financial investment, I'm talking about the time investment, which to me is far more valuable than any money you'll ever make. By now we get the sense that money it will replace itself, correct? Yes. Okay, but time won't. So to that end, I'm going to do the best I can to deliver all of this in 48 minutes and 17 seconds. So here we go. There's probably one of two things going on right now in your mind. You're probably feeling like this dog drinking out of the fire hose, right? Yeah. At some point, you're probably saying to yourself, my gosh, I'm freaking overwhelmed. Anybody feeling that? Say yes. Yeah. All right, good. Some people won't admit this, but they may have the I got this syndrome, which is not necessarily a bad thing. You might be coming from a place of feeling really good about yourself relative to how you felt when you walked in on Friday morning. And is that okay too? Yeah. Absolutely. The thing about both of these, though, that you have to understand is they're both a little bit dangerous. Both of these can be very dangerous places to be. Because if you're in that place of feeling overwhelmed, it can lead to something even worse. It can lead to stagnation. Yeah. Who here wants to be stuck in the mud? No, right? Stagnation stifles progress. And here's the thing I really want you to focus on as you walk out the door today. When you walk out the door and you go back to your normal lives and you go back to the operation of your business, by the way, would you say your life isn't really going to be that normal after this weekend? No. It's a whole new chapter, isn't it, baby? Yeah. Get some. So here's the thing. Stagnation stifles progress. If you get yourself in a place where you're stuck, it's very hard to make forward progress. And what happens is we get totally obsessed on what? What is it everybody wants in business? Money, success. What is that? What's a big generic term we use to describe those things? Win. Okay, great answers, by the way, and I appreciate it. Can I fill you guys in real quick where I was going with this? Results. Can we all agree that those things are all a version of result? Great. The one thing I would love for you to take away from today, if the only thing you hear me say this entire weekend, let alone right now in this next few minutes with you, is this: stop obsessing over results. Okay. We'll talk about that in a moment. I would rather you obsess over progress. Does that make sense? Yeah. Let me ask you this question. If hypothetically speaking, I stick you out in the middle of the woods, and there's no cloud, there's such dense cloud cover you can't see the sun. You don't have a compass, and you're right here. And I tell you, 10 miles to the north is salvation. Meaning, you're going to find a town, they got Wi-Fi, they got water, food, and all the stuff that you need. But if you don't get there, it's a 10-mile hike. By the time the sun sets, there's all kinds of creepy wild animals that might devour you. What might you do? What's your first thought? Figure it out. Figure it out, right? I got to get moving. So you start walking. An hour later, I pop out of the woods, covered in camouflage, and I go, hey, guess what? So far, you have gone 2 miles. How you feeling? In that 1 hour, you made 2 miles of progress. Now remember, this is a dense forest. Good. You're like, cool, right? Except that the town's up here, and you just went 2 miles that way. Did you make progress? No. You sure? What? Exactly. You guys probably can't even see that, right? What worked about this? You moved. TJ just talked about this. Tim, by the way, I call him TJ because he's my brother, all right? And everybody confuses us. They call me TJ and him JT. You can see the problem with that, but people that know him and love him call him TJ, so when you see him, call him TJ. But if I say, cool, now you just went due south for 2 miles. Now you're 12 miles out. Now what happens? What can you do now?
Go the right direction.
You can go the right direction, right? So now you're going to march with what? What are you going to have inside your heart and soul? Determination. And what else? Urgency, but something even more important that the strategy delivered, starts with a C, rhymes with clarity. It's clarity. Now, aren't you more clear, right? Because you know what direction you have to go. You can actually take purposeful steps to get where you want to be. Does that make sense? That's the problem with being stifled or with stagnation, is it stifles progress. If you get overwhelmed, you say to yourself, ain't no way I'm going to pull this off. And all of a sudden, the self-doubt starts coming in your head. The other problem with going it alone, though, is all of a sudden, it starts to get you lost. So if I didn't pop out of the woods and share that information with you, you're like, no, I got this. I'm smart. I got a great sense of direction. But you didn't have that input, that feedback. That could be an ugly situation, yes? Yeah. This is the reason that for those of you who have made that amazing decision to work with Misha, you got to feel totally great about the next at least 12 months of your life, if not further, because you know he's going to be with you as long as you want to stick around, yeah? A guy like Misha is never going to let you down. But here's the thing. If you try to go it alone, it can get desperate, man. And when you get desperate, you start making bad decisions, right? Have you ever been desperate before? I was desperate 3 days ago. I was in the airport. I got there early, and I was dying of thirst, like literally so thirsty because I'd left the house. I knew I was going to be driving in Seattle traffic. I didn't want to have to pull off to the side of the road because I didn't want to miss my flight. I get to the airport, and I went to go buy water at this thing, and it was the actual thing was closed. The store was closed. They're like, we'll be right back. We had a system malfunction. I'm like, I got to buy some water, man. I was close to going and drinking out of the toilet. I was so thirsty. But I went down that walkway, the tramway there, and I'm like, oh, God, that place is open, so I bought a bottle of water. I didn't even care how much it was. Do you know how much water is in an airport? The answer is it doesn't matter when you're thirsty, right? The point is this. You don't want to be in a desperation place and pay $4 for a bottle of water. You want to be prepared and think ahead of the situation. Would you agree? Because being stuck sucks. Can we agree with that? Yes. I want to share with you a little mind model I created a while back for the way your brain kind of works when it comes to problem solving. Actually, it's how you see the earth, how you see the world, not the earth, how you see the world. So I'll put this up. Hopefully we can film it up and put it on the side walls. Anybody in the back have a hard time seeing this? I'm doing this very intentionally, by the way. I don't necessarily like to draw, but it's important. What is everything that our operating system in life based upon? How you wake up, how you talk, how you walk, and all those things. What does it come from? Beliefs. Can we all agree it's beliefs? I'm just going to write B for beliefs, all right? What do your beliefs create? What's the byproduct of your beliefs? What's the offspring of your beliefs? Yes, you're on the right path. There's something before that. Thoughts, right? Cool. And then what? What happens before your actions? A byproduct of your thoughts. You're getting there. It's an outwardly observable behavior. It's not my actions yet. I could be sitting perfectly still, and you'd still be able to observe this. In fact, I'm standing here, and you're observing me do it right now. Emotions, thinking, all create what? Energy. Can I fill you in? Your words. Yeah. I agree with you, by the way. The ooh part.